Get your fix with exclusive content, early access, and Discord integration. It's more Buckley than you could ever want at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. So I wrote this video on Monday, March 9th. Funny to say this, but the worldview on the coronavirus was very different a week ago. It was not classified as a pandemic yet when I first wrote this. At one point late in the week, I thought, should I even release this now? And I think the answer is yes, if for no other reason than as a time capsule, depending on how things go, to see how our attitudes change over time from, haha, this is nothing, idiots buying Purell for no reason, to, holy fuck, are we fucked? I also made some edits throughout the week as we got more and more news about the virus, and at no point did this video make fun of the victims. Stay safe out there, and try and relax if you can. It's official. The world has coronavirus fever. Or does the world have the fever due to the coronavirus? You know what? Let me start this video over. So this is going to be a little disjointed compared to my usual videos, but I wanted to talk about all the ridiculous things going on regarding the coronavirus, which, according to Worldometer, my #1 source for stats for sure, has had over 109,000 documented cases and nearly 4,000 deaths worldwide, much greater than SARS by comparison. Although the World Health Organization has listed this as a pandemic, generally people are being told not to panic, but there's a fine line between preparation and panic. And that line apparently starts at Costco, where people who are scared about what might happen if they got the disease are voluntarily standing outside dick to taint with thousands of people and then crowding into a big warehouse together to eat the samples that just sit out with their bare fucking hands and touch all the condiment pumps while slathering their $1.50 hot dog in mustard. Do they sell Corona beer at Costco? If they do, they might have seen a spike in sales, as Constellation Brands claims there was actually a 5% increase in sales from mid-January to mid-February. But what about that survey? You know, the one that said 38% of Americans wouldn't buy Corona beer because they think it gives you the coronavirus? As much as those of us in Canada, the UK, and Australia would like to think Americans are that dumb, the only idiots are the people who push that survey as true. The Atlantic looked at the numbers a little deeper and said that they surveyed 737 beer-drinking Americans, not very many, and 38% of those simply answered that they would not buy Corona under any circumstances. That's it. Those people weren't Corona drinkers to begin with. One could just as easily suggest that it's overt racism that prevents Americans from buying a Mexican beer. Print that on the internet, CNN. But another likely scenario? Those 38% might just not like the taste. In fact, only 4% of Americans who reported regularly drinking Corona said that they would now stop drinking the beer. But again, the survey never asked them, would you stop because of the coronavirus? And 4% of what number? Of those 737 people surveyed, again, already a pretty pathetic number, let's say 200 of them said, I drink Corona regularly. 4% of that is 8 people. So if 8 Americans actually thought that Corona beer could give them the coronavirus, that's hardly a fair number to judge an entire country on, especially when there's so much more to judge them on. Now, Corona beer isn't suffering, but you know who is? Cruise lines. The Grand Princess cruise ship that was turned away in California and ultimately docked in Oakland had nearly 3,000 people quarantined on the floating petri dish, while 21 people on the ship have confirmed cases of the coronavirus. Another cruise ship, the Diamond Princess, had its own issues, with 218 people having contracted the virus on board, according to the BBC. So people are just dragging the shit out of cruise line advertisements on Facebook now. Like this one from Norwegian Cruise Lines, with comments like, oh wow, a floating toilet. Trips ranging from 5 to 90 days. Pay for a week, stay for a month. One person commented on the image that accompanied the ad, I think these people are escaping the ship. And my favorite, are burials at sea cheaper? Now I haven't heard about another industry suffering, that'd be restaurants and fast food. But I saw this post that might take a little bit of the calm out of you. A person identifying themselves as a food service worker on Twitter posting a sign in their restaurant saying, if you are not able to work your scheduled shift, it is your responsibility to get your shift covered. And If you do not work 2 or more of your scheduled shifts within a month's time, I will hire someone to work those hours. I don't know if you heard, but people need jobs to make money. And in the States, you need to pay to go to the doctor. I bet Applebee's and Chili's staff don't have the best health coverage. So guess what many food service workers do when they get sick and their place of work treats them this way? They go to work, sick. Blue checkmark Mary Newmare replied to this saying this is absolutely the norm and I showed up sick to work way more often than I stayed home sick. During cold and flu season, when you're eating out, you might as well be eating out a waitress with the flu because you're getting her germs. Speaking of avoiding germs, one of the things public health officials and leaders are suggesting is that you stop touching your face. Sarah Cody, a public health officer for the Santa Clara County, warned people about touching their face.
Today, start working on not touching your face.
And then went on to explain the parts of a face.
One main way viruses spread is when you touch your own mouth, nose, or eyes.
And then later in the press conference, licked her thumb to turn the page. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez also passed along the information about not touching your face.
But one of the key parts to preventing transmission is washing your hands and not touching your face,
while continuously brushing her hair out of her eyes and mouth. Officials should be doing these press conferences with their hands behind their backs. The U.S. Surgeon General also recently mentioned that people should stop stockpiling masks because it makes it more difficult for healthcare providers to get them. I guess I never thought about it, but I had hoped that hospitals get their masks from somewhere other than the local Walgreens. Oh shit, I gotta perform a surgery in 12 minutes and we're out of masks! Quick, someone run down to the CVS! What? They're out? Ah, fuck it. At least we still got gloves, right? Oh fuck, we don't? Well, guess I'm bareback in this heart surgery. One thing that's being suggested now that it is a full-on pandemic, businesses and schools may close in affected areas to try and keep people at home. This has already happened in China, and it may surprise you to find out that Chinese kids are just like American kids. They don't want to do any work either. In Wuhan, ground zero for the virus, kids were ordered to stay home and download the app DingTalk, used for teachers to administer online lessons and homework. The kids felt that if the app was given enough one-star reviews, it could be booted off the App Store, and they wouldn't have to do schoolwork from home. So, tens of thousands of kids rated the app a 1, and the app's rating plummeted from a 4.9 to a 1.4 overnight. Fucking Chinese couldn't even let Americans be the best at underachieving. They had to take that away from them too. It's hard not to panic though with everything going on, right? They shut down Italy. Like almost the entire country of Italy is shut down. In the US, gaming convention E3 was canceled, they moved Coachella from April to October, and the NBA has suspended its season. A multi-billion-dollar sports league has decided health is more important than money. That is how panicked the US is right now, that money is not the most important thing. But the best thing everyone can do is keep calm. We apparently do this by reminding each other that there are so many other ways to die. Like this post floating around Facebook that mentions such unsourced statistics as cancer kills 26,283 people a day, heart disease kills 24,541 people a day, hell, mosquitoes and snakes kill more people daily than the coronavirus killed in China on its deadliest day back in February. Which is fine for perspective, I guess, except now there's something else you can get. And you won't get cancer or heart disease because you accidentally walked by some asshole at Walmart who couldn't just stay home coughing directly into your mouth. But yes, the chances of you getting it are slim. And if you're healthy, the chances of you dying from it are also slim. So don't worry about it, and don't run out to stock up on fucking hand soap. Because you already have lots, right? You weren't a gross piece of shit who didn't have hand soap before. Because before you had even heard of a coronavirus, you were already washing your hands like a normal human being before handling food or putting your fingers in your fucking mouth. Right? Right?